What's happening, guys? Chris VA Travels down here in Dinwiddie County at Pamplin Park, and I'm visiting the National Museum of the Civil War Soldier. And before I go in, down here Wisconsin, 91,000 soldiers survived, 12,000 died. And it looks like they've got each state, and here's Virginia. I'll check Virginia's out. And 175,000 served, 14,000, almost 15,000 died. And yeah, wow, yeah, wraps all around. That's pretty cool. This place has kind of Monticello vibes. And pretty neat statue over here. Yeah, New Hampshire, New Jersey. All right, so obviously, yeah, they're in alphabetical order. Actually, let me check out. I had heard somewhere that Virginia had the most soldiers in the Confederacy, and I also heard somewhere else one time North Carolina did. So let me see. North Carolina, 128,000. So yeah, it looks like Virginia wins out. Take a closer look at this statue. Pamplin Historical Park. Yeah, National Museum of the Civil War Soldier. I heard that's really nice. Okay, so just cooking out, camping out, writing a letter maybe to a loved one. Dear Catherine. That's a really good statue. My thoughts and hearts are with you at home, but my duty lies here with cause and comrades. Before I go in, I'll let you know tickets are $15. That gives you access to the museum, the battlefield, Tudor Hall Plantation, and the Hart Farm. Not only did Virginia have the most soldiers, but it also had the most battles and skirmishes. Almost 60% of the war was fought here. Here we go. And in the beginning here, we've just got some plaques talking about the build-up to the war. Yep, 1860, growing country. Yeah, Uncle Tom's Cabin, a fictional tale written by abolitionist Harry Beecher Stowe, and really increased the anti-slavery sentiment. It was the second best-selling book of the 19th century after the Bible. Showing off the industry of the North. Looks like we're at a rail yard. And cool, yeah, okay, a B&O car. These are some settlers along the Oregon Trail in 1860. I'm not sure what this has to do with the war, but pretty good picture, so I thought I'd show it off. We know what this is, Fort Sumter. And a pretty dramatic picture, believe it or not, nobody died in this attack. Also, I'm headed down here in a few weeks, so stay tuned for some videos. This is Chartres Street down in New Orleans. For anyone who doesn't know, General Winfield Scott was born here in Dinwiddie County, Virginia, just outside of Petersburg. Pretty unique flag, the Confederate First National Flag with the state seal of Virginia. Less than a dozen examples of the Confederacy stars and bars incorporating an individual state symbol are known to survive. It's believed to have been produced between July and November of '61. They think it originated in the Petersburg area, and two of the flags were presented to units here in Dinwiddie County. This trunk was carried off to war by 2nd Lieutenant Henry Gates of Company G, 61st New York Infantry. He left action after 6 months due to poor health. We've got some brass knuckles down below a bullet mold for a Colt revolver.
pretty good collection of weapons, a couple Bowie knives. Looks like that one's got a pretty unique handle. Looks like something that came off some cutlery. Really good display back here, depicting army life at an encampment. A couple Zouave soldiers back here, gambling it looks like, playing some cards. And one guy's relaxing in the background. Okay, hospital back here. And yeah, this was life for these guys. Pretty mundane, actually. A lot of sitting around, probably, waiting for orders. Supply train right here, loaded up, Conestoga wagon. Smith's bulletproof vest, and this was made to go under a frock coat. And as you can imagine, this didn't take off, pretty heavy and cumbersome. This gray uniform was actually worn by a Union soldier out of the 28th Pennsylvania Infantry, last name of Wolf, and he died at the Battle of Chancellorsville. Wow, pretty nice epaulets. They even have their own box. This looks like a game, but it's actually a ballot box. And this is where the term black ball came from. A white marble indicated a positive vote, and a black ball indicated rejection. In the background here, it looks like they're playing rounders, an early form of baseball. And this is the other side of the giant diorama depicting camp life. Huh. He's pretty realistic looking. Really old folding chair made for travel. And this would be called a housewife, a sewing kit. Soldiers had to repair their own uniforms. Yeah, okay, another one back here. Pretty neat seeing these original items. Wow, really old accordion, and that would be a Jew harp down below, and then a really large harmonica. This gives you a pretty good idea of camp life. You could imagine the activities that were going on, the sounds you would be hearing, the scents you would be smelling. Up top, we've got a bullseye canteen, a couple drum canteens, a good collection of haversacks. And this would be an enlisted man's infantry waist belt with a cap pouch. On the left, federal officer's frock coat belonged to H.P. Bowden, paymaster of the Rhode Island militia. And on the right, Confederate officer's coat, it belonged to Captain Chesley W. Herbert, Company C of the 3rd South Carolina Infantry. Slouch hat's in pretty good condition. And yeah, again, great collection of items in here. U.S. enlisted mounted overcoat. And with his cavalry boots down here. And you'll see by the yellow trim, this would be a cavalryman's jacket. We've moved on to the artillery display and collection of worms, rammers, and sponges. This would be a U.S. model 1859 Grimsley's artillery valise saddle. And we've got a collar up here. As you see, a U.S. enlisted man's artillery jacket, and the red trim denotes service into the artillery. Howitzer pack saddle worn by a mule. And they would wear these saddles when carrying the components of the U.S. model 1835 12-pounder mountain howitzer over rough terrain. Always have your collection of shells, and this big one, number 2, is a 100-pound parrot shell. Looks like you've got a 20-pounder right next to it. Looks like maybe these are some 10-pound shells. Okay, a driver's whip used by Private Arthur Blandon of the 10th Massachusetts Battery Light Artillery. So it says this is a Richmond musketoon, a firearm that was issued to Private William T. Pride, Company B of the 12th Battalion Virginia Light Artillery. (27th South Carolina Infantry Battle Flag). Described as an Army of Northern Virginia pattern battle flag, it was captured at the Battle of Weldon Railroad, August 21st, 1864. The ladies of Dinwiddie County presented this Virginia state flag to the Dinwiddie Cavalry in 1861. The flag came into possession of U.S. Colonel David Campbell of the 5th Pennsylvania Cavalry near Williamsburg in May of 1862. He took it to Pittsburgh, but the flag was returned to Dinwiddie in 1941. 153rd Indiana Infantry flag, and they were mustered on March 1st, 1865, less than 6 weeks before Appomattox. Looks like they fought Confederate guerrillas around Russellville, Kentucky. Lost 3 men, 41 died of disease. Some handheld cymbals right there, and I could imagine this thing makes some noise. On the left is a sax horn made of German silver. Okay, we've got a fife and a bugle down here. Big old bass drum. Pretty good shape. Well, I guess that rope's not original. Cavalry musician's jacket. We've got a display over here with a bunch of surveying equipment. Interesting. I wouldn't have expected they would have a jack like this back then. It's hand cranked. The crude instrument above the spyglass, that's a bayonet with a reel attached, and they think they used it to lay telegraph wire. Portable field desk used by Captain Joab Rogers, Company A of the 1st Virginia Cavalry. His service ended when he was injured in a small skirmish on November 12, 1864. Oh wow, a lot going on in this picture. This is Colonel William Gross's 3rd Brigade, 1st Division, 4th U.S. Army Corps, engaged in a skirmish drill, 1864. Got some more shells, a couple of Hotchkiss shells up top. That'd be a Confederate 3-inch reed shell. Mini balls, musket balls. We've got a 10-pack of cartridges and percussion caps.
care of yourself, son.
The eyes of God will be upon you. You're gonna make it, Will.
All right, that was fun. Canteen that looks like it's been run over by a wagon. Sword and a bullet-struck scabbard used by Lieutenant Andrew Dobbs out of the 91st New York Infantry. Yeah, the bullet hit the scabbard, deflected into his leg. It remained there until his death in 1910. Mini balls fused together from a mid-air collision. Oh wow, soldier's fate. And on the left would be the Confederate grave marker of Private Thomas P. Bond, Company F of the Jeff Davis Legion of Cavalry. And this is the federal marker of Private Horace H. Newberry, Company G of the 25th Connecticut Infantry, died of disease in Baton Rouge in 1863. Looks like we've got a field hospital right here, and in the yard are recovering soldiers. Yeah, bringing them in. Okay, Brompton House in Fredericksburg, May of 1864. And these would be recovering soldiers from the Battle of Wilderness and Spotsylvania Courthouse. Map of the prison camps. Oh, big one. Libby down there in Richmond. Castle Thunder again in Richmond. Burned down in 1879. Prison number 6 in Danville. It used to be a tobacco factory. It's got the battlements on top. These are some pretty horrible pictures. Sketchings of soldiers who've just been released from the prison camps. This would be a cell lock from Libby Prison. Napkin ring carved from bone by John Schrontner of the 30th Indiana Infantry. He was a prisoner at Andersonville Prison. Doesn't look like a fun place to be. And this isn't a specific war camp, it's just a depiction of a typical Civil War prison. Johnson's Island. It's a Union prison camp in Ohio. And then Old Capitol Prison in DC. Snuff box. And on the bottom is inscribed, "Made by prisoners." And yeah, these were carved from bone also. Carved by a prisoner. I'm sure this stuff was a high commodity. And this was taken right down the street from where I live. Recovering soldiers in Fredericksburg. Amputation kit that was manufactured by Jacob Gemrum of Philadelphia. An ambulance water keg. Prosthetic leg worn by Lieutenant Edward F. O'Brien, 28th Massachusetts Infantry. He was injured at Cold Harbor, and it was so uncomfortable that he couldn't often wear it. Confederate wounded at a Union hospital in Gettysburg. Well, this is definitely creepy. On the left there is a hearing horn. This would be an invalid feeding cup. Combination knife and fork for amputees. Alright, so a combination of a crutch and an artificial leg. Surviving in the field. Oh, we've got one of these old mud chimneys. And this looks like more than a temporary encampment. Tin cans, commonly held oysters and sardines. Confederate tin drum, canteen that was adapted to be a flour sifter. And they also use canteen halves as frying pans and plates. Oh, pretty neat. General store. And hey, a lice comb, 20 cents. Boxes of peaches and a box of sardines to the left. The back of that wagon. Let's see what it's carrying. Newspapers. Northern newspapers. Philadelphia Inquirer. Alright, so the Southern Charleston Mercury. Oh yeah, lots of letters from home. Yeah, I'm sure it was a happy day when all this stuff arrived. So this is how they used to do it back then. Alright, a field church. Let's see what the preacher has to say.
Greetings, soldiers. Please come in. Take a seat. What do you wish to speak about?
That no-good paymaster finally got into camp. My God, there's a whole Joe.
Lord, give me the strength to resist the temptations of this unholy camp.
Come on, play some cards with us.
Unidentified military chaplain with his cross and Bible. Brass statues carried by some of the soldiers as tokens of their religious faith. Last room back here, a test of faith. Jesse James, of course, the infamous bank and train robber out west. Disguised as a man, this is female soldier Frances Clayton. Oliver Wendell Holmes, and he became an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. William Carney of the 54th Massachusetts, Medal of Honor winner. Isabella Boyd, she was a Confederate spy and an actress. Another one disguised as a man, Sarah Wakeman, and she's a little bit more convincing. This would be Mary Walker. She was a surgeon and also awarded the Medal of Honor. Veteran Reserve Corps uniform jacket of an unknown soldier. Illustrated series of Carte des Evites, a slave escaping to freedom. I've often heard this guy referred to as Whip Pete, but it looks like called Gordon here in this newspaper clipping. He's from Louisiana. Series of tintypes of some Union soldiers. And I don't have names for any of these guys. Pretty neat frame on this though. This documents a proof of free status for a United States colored soldier. Southern Cross of Honor, donated by the United Daughters of the Confederacy, Fairfax chapter. Soldier's bounty warrant. They were offering land out there in Iowa back in 1862 for service. These haircuts were something. A whole collection of these reunion posters. Grand Army of the Republic medallion. Terry's Texas Rangers 24th reunion down in Houston. These guys look real happy to see each other.
Wow, okay, that place was great. Definitely a must-see for you Civil War buffs out there. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here as always, guys. Like and subscribe. See you on the next one.